For the Catholics. I wanted to bring this up because of a conversation. I forget if I had said anything about this because I was talking to people who I'll bring this up and I'll realize they have no clue what I'm freaking talking about. We're in Eugene, Oregon. So if you want, you could look it up. There's, I think, an abbey and a monastery in the area. I'm pretty sure there's a Benedictine. It's a Benedictine monastery, Cistercian abbey for the nuns, and so I'm pretty darn sure there are a number of Orthodox groups around here. But now apparently in Willamette Valley there is an SSPX group. So the Vatican has dispatched to Marist High School a new priest who apparently has a side mission of trying to make overtures to the SSPX in, I guess, this area or maybe around Portland, um, because I'm not sure how large the diocese would be. I'd figure Portland, the greater Portland area, would have to have its own diocese, and that Willamette Valley is I mean, one. I figure one, but or maybe it's a part of the larger archdiocese of like a whole western part of Oregon. I'm not certain. I hadn't looked this one up. It's been a long time since I've really ever stayed that aware of the subsidiarity of parishes and such. But this is a big deal because remember, the Vatican has like come up with it came up with a building for the SSPX in Rome, in Vatican City, either in Rome itself or I believe though in Vatican City. So they want to pull the SSPX in badly. That, to me, seeing how Poland has reacted, the fact that you're hearing nothing about, like, why aren't we hearing, if Russia's so bad, why are none of their neighbors in the news? Why are no countries neighboring them in the news, like, Russia hacks our toilets, Russia hacks our cars, Russia hacked my penis, I mean, like, they never, nobody's complaining about it. Notice, why aren't we hearing about all these wonderful Muslim nations that border Russia? They have oil wealth and gas wealth. Why is Russia just seeming to leave them alone? I mean, you would think that like Louise Mensch would be all over this, talking to Azerbaijanis and Turkmenistanis and Turkmens and Kyrgyz and all these people. You'd think that she'd be chatting up all these people, try to get the dope. The Kalmucks. Are they infringing on your Buddhist rights, Kalmykia? How do they treat those Mongolians in Chita? But no, you're not hearing about any of that. So I'm thinking that the Vatican is smelling its piss, that these Jesuits have fucked up, and that they thought that they were going to just like this, that people would just turn to this new socialist order within the church, like, oh, look, they finally have come to their senses. The Catholics finally get it. This is a Jesus that understands me. This Jesus recycles. His sandals were made of grass, not of leather. See, this is in my mind what must be happening to those on the left who are excited about the movements that Bergoglio has been making happen. But as anybody who follows Church Militant or Anne Barnhardt or anything, that I still am chatting it up with Catholics because I just can't. I'll never be able. It's just that thing. Either you're out or you're never really quite out. You always are like, why won't you be the Catholic Church? I God, this hurts. This relationship hurts. But now also a lot of us understand it. We know that the Jesuits, they were sort of these magical wizards with so much knowledge, and they would know Thomas Aquinas, and they would say these things, and some of them were like generals, while others were like, like a Shakespearean actor, and then you'd finally at some point in your teens realize, like, these guys are pretty gay. Like, that math teacher is super gay, and it's like, and by the time that happened for me, Bernie Ward had blown open the San Jose diocese. The books didn't make sense. Ward gets fucking denounced in his church with his family there from the pulpit for disclosing that money was being paid to people, and that there were sealed court records about it. What is this about? Why won't anybody answer any questions? And oh God, the way they treated him, and so, and for whatever anybody ever wants to say about what in the long run came of it all, I mean that was rough. And that's what it is. And now we all understand what the Catholic Church was up to, and now we all understand worldwide what a lot of charities that deal with children are fucking up to. And that all these do-gooders and people want to help the kids and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, I bet you do. Help yourself to some kids. I mean, yeah, you're going to help those kids yourself. Yeah, that's all right. And we who still have endless hope, that anchor is made of gold, and we have endless, depthless hope that the church will come around, and that a lot of us who've left, we still have hope, and I still talk to Catholics like I'm still in the army. It's how many pull-ups do they require nowadays? That's actually a good way of putting it. When I think of Anne Barnhardt's mentality. The battle goes on. SSPX is making the Jesuits sweat, because a lot of these people of the SSPX are smart cookies. They are not stupid people. They are not people who just wildly quote theology and wildly quote canonical law. These are pretty sharp people. These are the kind of people who you grow up and you're like, damn, that kid was always so smart. Like he was the real thing. He was a real Catholic. He stayed gold. And that's what you perceive from a lot of those guys. 1 Peter 5, boss character, boss, nice guy. I'm not saying he's SSPX. I like him. I just want to put it out there for the fans. 1 Peter 5 is a great guy. Fish eaters. I almost for actually almost a year, I almost always had a Fish Eaters tab open on my phone, like constantly looking at something from Fish Eaters, because that's such a great website. I'm still getting through Josef Pieper's writings on Thomasian philosophy, because I think that's where it's at. I think praxeology, libertarianism, and then for the Christians, the Thomasian philosophical model and the model of the psyche, I think is where it's at, as a useful model for trying to pass on a tradition of self-control to the next generation, self-moderation, and a brightness a brightness for the world, a light for the future. We'll see how it goes. The thing about the Eastern Orthodox, I'm sorry, they notice Knights of Malta. Knights of Malta are the big charitable military order of the Middle East for the Catholics. Okay, notice that their Grand Master, that English guy, got set down. He was very gracious about it, but that means then the Jesuits are controlling who leads the Knights of Malta, and that the Russian Orthodox have given investiture They were military charitable. They had lost their religious investiture from the Catholics. They got it from the Russian Orthodox. So the Order of Saint Lazarus is going to take over charity among, basically their base is going to be the various things: Syrian Orthodox, Egyptian Orthodox, possibly will move down to Ethiopian Orthodox too. Um, so this means that the Russian government is making overtures to orthodoxy, and that goes all the way, I think, into India, if I remember correctly. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if those people, because I don't think the Catholic Church ever recognized. Yes, they're the ancient Eastern Orthodox Church. Yeah, ancient Eastern Orthodox Church. Yes, over in India. So that's Saint Thomas's. Yes, yes, Doubting Thomas, the St. Thomas's group, supposedly, that he got all the way to India, and yeah. So just putting that out there for the Catholics. Sorry, it's a little disjointed. It was something that just hit me that I thought, oh crap, I didn't mention this to anybody who could possibly even know what I'm talking about, other than this one person who told me about the appointment of the priest to Marist High School. And good luck to you, sir. I hope you nourish your flock very well. I hope you do good in the valley. Be a light to the valley.